Well everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy A26 and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy A25 and see which particular phone is the better one for you. Now, these two phones are very interesting because they're both pretty much the same type of phone, but they're just a little bit like this is the one version higher than the A25. I liked the A25, I thought it was a decent phone, but the same problem that I have with the A25 and the A26 is that because of the price point of these phones, you might just be better off buying like a 2-year-old, Samsung Galaxy S phone rather than these phones. So we'll take a look at it throughout this whole entire video, but if you want to pick up this phone or maybe some other phones that I would recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these particular phones. The Samsung Galaxy A25, which came out back in 2023 at the end of that year, on the front side is going to be giving you a pretty large 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display. So this is going to be a pretty big panel. It's going to be a large size panel for the most part. So that could be a nice thing if you're trying to go through and get like a really big screen. You're going to be getting that here inside of this type of phone. So that is going to be something that's really nice there. It's a pretty good looking display. It's 120 Hz as well, and it gives you 1000 nits of brightness. Keep in mind, this is one of the cheapest phones that Samsung makes. So the fact that they are already giving you that type of capability here is actually pretty insane. And I, for one, I'm like a massive fan when it comes down to this type of device from that particular perspective. It's not the best looking phone of all time or anything, but I'm a really big fan of the way that type of phone holds up from that particular side too. So in that particular situation, that kind of covers it up there. Now, on top of that, when it comes down to the A26, the upgraded version, this phone is going to be giving you a little bit of a bigger size panel. It's going to be giving you the 6.7-inch Super AMOLED display. So this one is going to be slightly bigger. So it's just a little bit slightly bigger. There's also less bezel on this phone as well. So I do think that is kind of a nice thing going on here too. So that phone is going to be bigger. It's just going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience there in some ways. So I do think that is kind of a big thing to keep in mind there as well. It's also going to be giving you 120 Hz here. It's basically just an upgraded version of the A25. So kind of keep that in mind. They're both giving you USB Type-C ports on the bottom, which is really nice. They're both also giving you the SIM card trays. And, that's still a really nice thing to have inside of both these phones too when it comes down to it from that particular side. The sides of both these phones are basically the same thing. There's not really that big of a difference. The interesting thing here is that the A25 was giving you this plastic back, where now the Galaxy A26, from what I'm feeling, gives you a glass back. So that is actually a really nice thing to be going from a plastic back on the A25 now up to a standard glass back. And I actually really like the way the Galaxy A26 looks, like with this, cameras kind of looking in that way from the A25 to the A26. I really do think that is a really nice touch, and it is a pretty big difference coming from the previous generation. Like, I really do think that's a very nice thing kind of looking like there, and I would probably tell you that in and of itself is probably one of the biggest key takeaways here is that you're getting these little small fine refinements. Like the A26 is giving you IP certification. The A25 was not giving you that. So there's a lot of things here and there that kind of make me feel like really good about owning something like a Galaxy A26 when it comes down to it. So I will tell you from the exterior, the A25 to the A26, it is kind of a nice little improvement going on there, which is something I actually like a lot. On top of that, when it comes down to the price tag, the A25 right now costs about $170-ish. The A26 is costing you about $300 on Amazon, depending on the model you get. So again, at that price tag, you might just be better off buying a different device that might be giving you a better experience. So that right there might be another one of those big things to keep in mind there when it comes down to it as well. Now, on top of that, another very important thing to keep in mind there too is that between both and their cameras, the A25 is going to be giving you a triple camera setup on the backside, and so is the A26. So the interesting thing here is that, Samsung made a lot of improvements. This was not one of the areas they made any improvements on. The camera is about the same thing on both of these. So there isn't really like that big of a difference here at all. The Galaxy A26 is they're both giving you this triple camera setup, a 50 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, then a 2 megapixel macro lens. So from that standpoint alone, there's not really that much that's going on here between both that you're going to be feeling like you're missing out on. They're both going to be giving you roughly the same type of experience. So once again, I would hate for you to go through and buy one of these types of phones and think to yourself like, wow, this is like a really good performing phone, or the camera is way better, when in reality, it's basically the same type of experience there. So from that side as well, I just kind of want to get that out of the way because you're going to be getting a fairly similar type of experience between both of these phones when it comes down to it from that particular situation. On top of that, when it comes down to their software longevity, the Galaxy A26 does have the highest likelihood of lasting for a longer period of time here. Like if you're wanting the phone that is going to be giving you a longer software support, the Galaxy A26 does have the highest likelihood here of lasting for the longest amount of time. So I think that in and of itself, again, is another one of those really important things to keep in mind. Because if you're going to go through and pick up a newer device, it would probably make more sense to go and buy a phone that is going to be giving you a longer lifespan. And the Galaxy A26 is going to be one of those ones that is going to be giving you a longer software support when it comes down to it from that side. So that right there is going to be another one of those things to keep in mind there too. On top of that, when it comes down to basically their battery lives, this is also another one of those really important things to keep in mind here too, because they're both giving you 5,000 mAh batteries. It's relatively around the same exact thing, and that's kind of another really cool thing that's going on here too. They're both giving you pretty much the same type of experiences, and I do think that is in and of itself another one of those really nice things that you can just go through, pick up either one of these phones, and still have a really good type of experience between both. So that right there is another important thing to keep in mind there as well. With something like the Samsung Galaxy A25 though, when it comes down to the performance, this one's giving you that Exynos 1280 chipset with 4 to 8 gigs of RAM, where the Galaxy A26 is giving you the it's giving you the Exynos 1380 chipset with 4 to 8 gigs of RAM. So I do think that is kind of one of those important things to keep in mind there too. Because if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, that one is definitely going to be a really good experience. And I do feel like that is going to be a really nice type of device that you're going to be able to pick up on the A26. It's going to be better, but it's really not even that great. I'm going to be honest with you. Both of these phones aren't really going to be giving you that great of an experience here. So it really doesn't make that much sense at all to go ahead and pick up either one of these types of phones when it comes down to it. Genuinely, you are so much better off not buying either one of these phones. You are much better off buying devices that are basically going to be giving you better experiences, better capability. I would be honest, none of these phones are going to be that. They're going to be okay, but this is what ends up kind of happening here. In my personal opinion, it does make a lot more sense to go through and buy a phone that is going to be giving you a better type of capability. Neither one of these phones are basically going to be giving you great experiences for the price. I do think that a Samsung Galaxy S23 would be a better option here. That type of phone is going to be giving you a better experience, better capability, and I do think that is the one that I would look at as probably being the better one here in almost every single way. These phones are great, they're good for the most part, but if you're trying to get a phone that's going to be giving you a better experience, like I said before, it does make more sense going through and buy something like a Samsung Galaxy S23 or an S23 FE or an S21 FE or even S22 in some cases. I really would not recommend buying either one of these phones anymore. So in terms of that, that's kind of how both these phones kind of compare. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, till then.